Across Idaho, some farmers are making decisions they've never wanted to make. Not because they don't want to grow their crops, but because they aren't sure they'll have enough water to finish them. The Surface Water Coalition says this year's combination of drought, historically low snowpack, and record low river gains has forced water reductions across hundreds of thousands of acres of farmland. In today's Inside Ag, we met up with a farmer in Nampa to see what that looks like over in Canyon County. Ben Jantz farms outside of Nampa.
It's been difficult.
But before seed went into the ground this year, he had to decide which crops were worth the risk.
Early on this spring, we were told that we would have 1 acre foot and no river run on our surface water. A lot of these crops take close to 2.5 to 3 acre feet to grow. So there's been a lot of ground that has been left idle this year. We were afraid that we were not going to have enough water to grow the crops that we needed to.
A strong spring rain did help farmers plant a bit more than expected, but water is still tight this year. So instead of risking running out of water later this summer,
there were fields that we just didn't plant.
One of the hardest decisions for him was deciding not to plant alfalfa hay. It's one of Idaho's most valuable crops, especially because there isn't as much forage for range cows after a dry spring this year. But it's also one of the thirstiest crops. Ben didn't plant 25 acres so he could water the rest of his crops, which at nearly $1,500 per acre, that's $37,500 lost to a dry year. And that's just if you plant alfalfa.
On a crop like wheat, we were probably looking at around $750 per acre. And then, you've got corn and sugar beets, are anywhere between $1,500 to $4,000 per acre. There are some specialty seed crops that are north of $5,000 per acre.
The Surface Water Coalition says farmers across southern Idaho are facing similar choices. This year's mountain snowpack was less than 40% of normal. Reservoirs are holding about 1/3 less water than they typically would, and some irrigation districts are already cutting water deliveries by as much as 33%. And those aren't just water numbers. It's money that has never had the chance to grow.
Our commodity prices are incredibly low right now. Our inputs, our fuel, our fertilizer are incredibly high right now. And so it's not sustainable. And then when you're not even able to farm all of your ground because you don't have enough water, that makes it extremely difficult.
For Ben, every field left unplanted is a reminder you can't grow a crop without water.
Water is our lifeline. Absolutely.
The Surface Water Coalition says those water shortages are already affecting roughly 550,000 acres of Idaho farmland, and warns the impacts won't just be felt on the farm, but eventually at businesses, grocery stores, and around your kitchen table.